Hello everyone, welcome to the first official episode of the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Leonard. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what domestic violence is, what it looks like, and how common it is. So first up, what is domestic violence? Domestic violence is defined as a pattern of behaviors used by one partner to maintain power and control over another partner in an intimate relationship. So, domestic violence includes all forms of abuse and are actively chosen by the abuser. I feel like a common misconception of domestic violence is that it's how you see abuse typically portrayed in the movies. A mom trapped in a cycle of having a revolving door of boyfriends who abuse her and cause her to neglect her children. While this may be true for some cases, every domestic violence case is different, which is why a lot of people can't tell when it's happening to people they know. In my situation, my family was like a facade. We played the part of the happy family in order to hide what was really going on at home. Everything seemed normal, and most people didn't suspect a thing. We didn't want people to get worried or think differently of us if they knew the truth, so we hid the abuse of my father in order to save face. It wasn't always physical violence that was used for abuse, though. A lot of what my mother and I endured was emotional and verbal abuse, and after we left, financial abuse. If anyone caught on and tried to talk to him about it, my father would have gotten so angry and escalated the abuse we were suffering behind closed doors. This is likely a common experience, keeping abuse hidden and unintentionally protecting the abuser in order to stay safe. Manipulating people into fearing them is an abuser's specialty, so they can continue their abuse and appear to be a great person, or at least not a terrible one to the rest of the world. Abuse can come in many different forms: physical, verbal, digital, sexual, and stalking, which I will discuss in later episodes. There aren't always bruises or scars to mark the trauma that domestic violence causes. Most of the wounds are emotional. Personally, it took a lot of therapy and time for these wounds to begin to heal, and for my life to feel like it was moving on. I didn't experience domestic violence as a member of the relationship, but witnessing the abuse of my mom, I constantly feared that one of us would get hurt, which left me walking on eggshells at home, just like my mom did. The immense amount of strength and courage those directly in domestic violence relationships have in order to leave is inspiring. Being constantly manipulated can leave victims feeling trapped, which continues the cycle of abuse, but you can get out safely and you are strong enough to do it. So, how common is domestic violence? Over 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men in the United States have experienced rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Almost half of both women and men have experienced psychological aggression by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And the highest rates of domestic violence are experienced by women aged 18 to 24 and 25 to 34. These are astonishing numbers, and yet a lot of domestic violence cases probably go unreported out of fear of the abuser. Domestic violence is such a common issue, but isn't talked about as much as it should be because victims often have no idea where to turn to get help or are too scared to do so. It is my goal with the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast to create another resource people can use to help understand their experiences, find resources, and know they're not alone. If you need immediate help, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or text START in all capital letters to 88788. You can also visit their website, thehotline.org, for more information. Thank you for listening to the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast. I hope you learned a little bit more about what domestic violence is and how it affects so many people. I hope you all have a great day, and remember, spread love everywhere you go.